on, Richard, he's on the clock.
Yeah, go on, Dad, I'm on the phone here, I'm on the clock.
Hiya, Rob here from DocWob. This week we're going to be putting the Villopoto race bike through its paces. So you've seen it in the workshop last week, a couple of weeks ago, whenever that was. So you can see what we did. We got our local, we got our test rider, local hotshot Stephen Clarke, going to ride the bike for us. He's as good as anybody, believe me. So he'll be wringing its neck. And then Stephen's going to be helping us with the development of the Mike Brown bikes, Tommy Searle bikes, and the Zach Osborne bikes we're building for this year's VMXdN. So keep an eye out. Okay, so that's the bike all stripped down. You've seen the bare bones, what went into it, or part of it. I must say it was a lot easier to talk about it than it was to build it. So rear wheel, Talon hub, anodized, light bronze factory colour, stainless spokes, Talon rim, Michelin Star 6, medium to soft compound, Michelin inner tubes, which will be running Muses next year because we had a bit of an issue with Brownie, a couple of punctures on the second day. Not much else to say about that. Axle blocks we made for this, we're not going to sell them because there's just not enough O2s around to warrant it, and they only fit the O2 to O4. So we just made a couple of sets for these bikes. Titanium axle, aluminium 7075 hard anodized nut, titanium bolt, aluminium nut, copper crush washer. So all goes on these things. Because we copied the Budlight look of the factory Yamaha from O2 with McGrath. They were AFAM sprockets, AFAM chains, so we contacted AFAM in France. They hooked us up, no problem at all. It's all really good quality stuff, so we had no issues with that. And apart from that, that's the back end done. Foot pegs, basically it is a YZ250 foot peg. We got these from one of the Grand Prix teams we support, so they hooked us up with those, but we put them on with 11mm pins. It takes any of the play out of it, so the bike don't jingle jangle when you fire it up. So safe to ride them just to be safe. They work perfectly well. The boys are used to riding with these, so that removed one part which we got to worry about. All up your face, it's like all in your eyes and everything. It can't be good for you. So subframe, airbox. So we lowered the subframe like I spoke about in the last video at Telford. We took some out of the bottom mount, lowered the back end about 15mm so they can get their arse right over the back down the hills. Airbox had to be brand new on all of them because every bike we got in had this restyle kit on it. And to be honest, new airbox from Yamaha, 120 quid or something. So you know what, they're really hard to bring back and make nice again. So new airbox. The rubbers all go in the Vapor Blaster. It's the best tool in the world for rubbers. You can't get your head around that it brings these back like this. It's ace. DT1 filters. Johan Booner from DT1 looks after us. Always has done. We won't use any other filters. He's the best in the world. He's ace. So apart from that, all titanium bolts, slightly flow blue plastic, which is available. So apart from that, that's the back end. Really not much else to report on that one. So the frame holds it all together. Doesn't take that much welding. We have to do the mount for the steering damper, new steering stops, lowered and wider. Turns out not wider because we had to shorten them. Lugs for the skid plates, which we manufacture. And then the frame goes off to Ollie Benton to be powder coated. Now, the powder coat, people ask me all the time, what colour, what's the valve coat? There ain't no valve coat for this. It's a semi-translucent blue. It's a company called Prismatic Powder Coats in America. And it's called Bentley Blue. It's the closest you're going to get, but it has to be, it's like a two-coat thing. They have to do it silver first, and then the blue is almost like water. When they put it, it's like, I don't know, but it's powder, I guess. But you have to be really delicate with it because it'll run and do all kinds of weird stuff. So he doesn't like doing them. I like the look of them, so we have to do. So we'll be doing Osborne's here in a couple of weeks, so we'll show you it before and after. So the alley tanks we get made in Italy. We had them made with these aluminium vent tubes down through the middle. They come out here, which basically forces or supplies the airbox with cool, clean air. So the pipes come from the front through to the back. It's called FAI, fresh air intake, and that first appeared on Yamaha road bikes, FZR 600 or something. And Rob Herring showed up with this in '88 on his factory 250 Yam, which was the coolest fucking thing you've ever seen. So we do that. Also on these is a flush fit gas cap, because as I mentioned before, we lower the front of the tank 15 mil, trying to make the riding seating area as flat as possible. Our engineer 3D printed an opener, which works really, really well on the cap. So you can get the thing tight without having a cap. So that's kind of neat. The vent comes out here with a little splash guard in front of it to stop any splash forward when it's full up. Tank doesn't hold as much as a production tank, but the races at Foxhill, which is what we built the bike for, are only 6 laps. So we only put a couple of litres in the tank anyway. So we had a little drama with the tanks. We had the tanks made, everything looks great, and we got to fit them on the bike before powder coat, and they don't fit. So what had happened is the YZ250 tanks that the Italians made, they make them for the aluminium frame. We needed it for steel frame. Just because it takes the same rad panels and the same seat, don't mean it's the same. So underneath is all wrong. So we've had to have them completely remade underneath to look the same on the outside, but different on the underside. It was a little bit lastminute.com, but we got there in the end. But that's, again, the trouble with steel frames. There's not enough about to warrant making a bunch of stuff. You know, of course it's had a new rod, of course it's had a new crank, of course it's had everything brand new in it. You don't talk about that, it's not interesting, is it? That's what everybody else does. You know, oh yeah, we put swing arm bearings in it. Yeah, we're going to use the old shit, aren't we? Well done. Brownie points for you.
Okay, so we're off to Apex this afternoon to test. The last time we were on this bike was at Foxhills. Today we're average 20 degrees colder. So we're just having to go up on the main jet, pilot and the needle, just to put us into a safe running condition and see what it's like when we get to the track.
Do you think it'll work?
I hope so.
So the jetting on these older two-strokes is, 250 is not as bad as 125s, but we're constantly up and down on the jets, depending on temperature, air density, altitude, everything changes, and it does adjust it. It does mean the carb needs adjusting to suit. So like Tone just said, it's gone a lot colder. Air quality is a lot better, so you can get a lot more fuel in to go along with the better air, basically. We used to have this with the Supercross in the States, when in the afternoon it'd be hot. If there was no roof on the stadium, as it cooled off in the evening, we'd go richer and richer all night. But the exact opposite when there was a roof on the stadium, whereas the air quality would get worse and worse as the day went on. So this is before fuel injection. This is when there used to be a level of skill of setting a carb up. So while Tone's beavering away, changing the jetting, we're going to get ready to go to Apex here in a few minutes. Lee has been kind enough to let us use the track. So we're going to go up there. We haven't fired the bike up in 6 months, so hopefully it runs. And going to let Stephen Clarke go out and put it through his paces, tell us what he thinks. We're going to try to not set it up too much for Stephen. I want him to ride it as Ryan rode it, so we let him move the levers around in a few bits and pieces, and then hopefully we get the jetting somewhere near first time. There's no point spending all day setting the thing up. As long as it's not dangerously lean, we'll be all right. So we'll see you up there.
Hi guys, Stephen Clarke here, former junior world champion, European champion, and today I'm the lucky man who gets to ride this bike of Ryan Villopoto's. Saw it in person at Foxhills last year, and I've been excited to try and get behind the bars of it, and Rob's luckily given me the call and said, you know, come and ride it and put it to its paces, so here we are today.
How does it feel?
That's really good. Are these levers textured?
Yeah, we blast them, give you a little bit of grip. You remember we used to run like grip tape on them back in the day?
Cool.
But yeah, we blast them to make them.
Nice.
Little things, kid, little things.
Yeah.
When did you last ride a two-stroke?
Probably 2008. It's been a long time, so I'm keen to have a go on this one.
Yeah.
See what the difference is. I haven't kicked a bike over for a while.
Do you think?
Yeah, fun, man, wicked. Just close to a modern bike, because I think you'll get with one of
It's a 20-year-old dirt bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a field bike for 18 years of its life.
Yeah.
So
Perfect, man. I've proper enjoyed riding that. It's one of the most fun bikes I've ridden, definitely.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. How does she feel? I mean, power-wise, the 450, obviously you're down on a power. We understand that. But I mean, lap times, where do you think you'd be at?
Honestly, not for, against 250F times, this would be like right up there with it and like on par, if not faster. You know what I mean? It's lighter, more nimble. On like a rough track, I feel like I'd have an advantage on this, whereas, you know, maybe on the flat track.
Do you think you could race at a British Championship?
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be cool. But we've got a lot more stuff coming up if you want to test it. We got obviously Thomas' bike coming up. We got the Brownie bike. We got to put those through the paces before we go to the races. So
Happily, mate. Happily.
If you can come and help us with that, that'd be mega.
Yeah, and we're going to come to Apex again, seeing as it was so prime today.
They have looked after us today. It's absolutely perfect, isn't it? For like, they said there was going to be weather warnings with snow and ice, but
Sun's out, guns out.
give me sunglasses. It's mega.
Right, so that's me done and dusted for the day on Ryan Villopoto's Foxhill's bike from the VMXdN. Really enjoyed my day of riding it. There's a few things I would change if it was trying to be set up for me. A grippier seat is my go-to option. I just like to feel like I'm not sliding around on the seat. A few minor things like back brake pedal, handlebar bend wasn't great. For me, I got, you know, we're all different. I'm a different shape rider to Ryan, so just a few minor changes like that. But overall, like the suspension worked really well and the power was good. So, you know, a few minor changes to make it custom to myself, and I'd be well away with this.
So that's it. Stephen's tested the bike. Happy enough, I think. The bike runs good, especially for a 20-year-old two-stroke. I'm not particularly happy with the jetting. We went a little bit crazy because we thought it was going to be a lot colder than this. They were forecasting weather warnings, but turns out it's been lovely. So we went a couple of sizes on the jetting where we should have just gone one size maybe. But once we got here and he started riding it, he didn't really want to stop. So that was good. Apart from that, now we've got to put a piston in it and prep it. We're going to change the graphics up and get it ready for Ryan to race again in August. Come and see us.